Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I know a lot of you are probably at home getting ready for cookouts. We're enjoying a beautiful day here in Memphis, Tennessee. So it's about 10 o'clock Central Standard Time if you're catching me live. And I want to show you something that I found yesterday at an estate sale, and how to be able to use two products that we have here at a maker studio to take my $3 estate sale find into something that you can really enjoy the bragging rights about. And so those two products are our Etching Cream and our Motif Stencil. Now I've cut some of this up and I will show you, I'll kind of put this together so you can see it. The name of this stencil is called Motif, M-O-T-I-F. And it's very classic in nature. It has your Greek key, it has your rolling coin, it has a lot of acanthus leaves on it. So they're very, very detailed. So you want to be able to be very strategic in how you use it, but it can be incredible as far as how it can transform pieces. Now, if you've never done etching before, I will say that it's one of my favorite projects because it looks so classic and so elegant and so timeless. And it looks so expensive and it's so easy to use and do. So if you've not worked with our stencils before, these are a mesh stencil. They're reusable. You can wash them. I'm here beside my kitchen sink. This is my vegetable sink. And so I can show you how easy it is to clean it. But look at the detail on this. So I'm going to pull this up and I want you to be able to see, of course, there's a backing on it. But I want you to see, look how you can see through that. You can see my hand on the other side. And the beautiful detail where it's almost woodcut and these tiny, tiny lines of detail that you're gonna be able to get when you etch these glasses. Now, all of you that know me know that I love going to estate sales. I'm just gonna tell you, we had the mother load this weekend. Jean and I, we laugh and it's like, this person, it was a very small, unassuming house, but she had the most incredible art on it. And if you've never done estate sailing before, I really recommend, if you find something that you like and it's a little bit more expensive, make a bid on it. The cool thing about this estate sale was they couldn't park on the street, so they could only let 3 people in at a time because that's all that could fit on the driveway. So it was very quiet. It was really nice to be able to go in there and look through things. But this is an estate sale that we went to, and these are tiny little glasses. Now I will tell you, I don't know what kind of alcohol they probably put in these, but I love the shape of them, and I use these for dinner parties to put just a little thing of sorbet in with a fresh sprig of mint. And I'm also going to show you, like every morning, I will have a yogurt like this, either a soy yogurt or coconut milk yogurt. And I'm going to show you how you can take these cute little containers and, as I say, craft a beautiful life. It's about enjoying the process, being good to yourself, and using sweet little things like this to be able to put your food in that you're going to enjoy. It makes it taste better too. All right, so you'll notice I'm also going to be working with just some regular Q-tips today. When I am working with really small detail on my etching cream, I'll use Q-tips because it'll allow me to really get down into the crevices just a little bit more, so I don't have to use a paintbrush as I normally do. Now, something else that I want you to be able to see, on this particular stencil where you've got all types of motifs, this Greek key would be fabulous around the top of a vase like this, which I'm actually going to be doing this later. You can do double banding. You can come back. This is a hurricane lamp that I had done with our Toile Stencil. So you can do it all over it. So you see with this etching, it's not going to come off. It's permanent. It is actually etched into the glass itself. So this is dishwasher safe. It's microwavable safe. And here is a bowl. This was done with words. This is a bowl that I got at Target. And I came back with one of our Southern Saying stencils. We have a lot of scripture verse stencils that you can come in and just do the words all over it. And that becomes a beautiful object. And I will tell you, we'll keep fruit in this in the kitchen. And every time anybody sees this, they're like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it's so easy to do. The fun thing is, a lot of you, if you're entrepreneurial minded, this could definitely be a business. I would recommend starting at estate sales because you can get glass so inexpensively and it's one of a kind. Also, you'll notice I'm going to show you how you can take regular glass dishes like this. I have about 50 of these. You can get these a lot of times at estate sales too for hardly anything. You can get them at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree, but they're really heavy duty. They're great for bridal showers and wedding showers. If you just want something simple to be able to display your food on, but these are also great to etch. And I'm going to come around and do this garland all the way around this plate as a border. Don't you love that? This actually comes in the Motif Stencil as well. All right, so I'm going to show you, first of all, something that I did as far as the base of this. Now look at this. This is another design that comes in this Motif Stencil, and how I cut it to be able to go around it, and then I'll just flip it on the other side. This is another one. This is actually a round. This is something maybe you've never thought about doing before. When you've got a round stencil like this, all I did was I cut it out, and that's why we have enough room on these stencils to be able to just cut it out, use what you want to, and then put it back in the sleeve. I usually don't put it on the back of the backing anymore. All right, now I'm gonna cut this. Let me put this back on here. It's gonna be a little bit easier to cut. Don't take it off the backing before you cut it. Use the backing on it first and then cut it. I'm gonna trim this just a little bit. Now, as always, if you're catching me live, please send me some love, send me some hearts, and tell me where you're from. And then this is an opportunity for you to ask me questions. I will be popping on Facebook later, and I will answer your questions. But I promise this is going to be one of the most fun, easy, most satisfying projects you'll ever do. If you've never done any etching before, it's easily to become hooked. All right, so if you're wanting to be able to do the base of a glass, maybe you have a larger glass, maybe a wine glass, you can just come here like this and cut it so that way it will easily fit around the base of your glass like this. So now a lot of times what I'll do, I may cut just a little bit of that center out, so that will act as the stem. This. So that way you can put it around the base of the glass like this. Now, this one's just a little bit bigger, and that's okay, because that way my design is going to go all the way off. But on a larger glass, this is a great way to make the base of the glass really, really pretty. And again, this is with our Motif Stencil. The cool thing about this Motif Stencil is that you get 2 pages with it, and there are all these different classic designs that you'll be able to use. All right, so here's one that I did earlier, and it's a smaller one, and I cut it to be able to fit around the stem of these adorable little glasses. This was my $3 find. I got 7 glasses, and that's the other thing. Usually they're odd amounts, but I knew that at least it gave me 6, so I was going to be okay. You want to make sure that you work on a protective surface. You can put a piece of cardboard down. You can put a placemat down. You just want to make sure that you're not going to be working on your stone countertop. I know Jean Howard cringes every time I start doing projects on this marble countertop, but this is the room that I do a lot of it in. All right, so I'm going to dip my Q-tip into my etching cream like this, and you want to, can you come just a little closer? I know we've got 2 cameras here, so that way Jean can get a little bit closer so you can see it. This is about, you want to stay off that edge. This is about loading this up. Less is not more on this. It's better to be able to have just a little bit of etching cream on here. It's going to sit, and that's what's going to actually etch the glass. Cool thing about it is you feel like it's not doing anything for a while, and I promise you it is. And if there's some areas that you feel that you didn't connect. Maybe you had a little cut area that you feel like you messed up on. I promise you're not really going to see it at the end of the day. All right, so I'm going to put some of this on here and I'm going to leave it. Then I want to show you, we're going to work on this plate over here just a little bit. Stay away from the edge, because I just want to be able to get the decorative part of it. All right, so I'm going to set this over here for just a second. All right, so now let's go to our plate. So as I was showing you this, again, this is from our Motif Stencil. If you go to our website at makerstudio.com, you'll see the Motif Stencil, and it's your Greek keys, your acanthus, your corbels, so many cool things to be able to work with. This one, and because it's reusable, it's adhesive, so it sticks to the glass beautifully, it holds it down, and then that way after you're finished with it, like on this, I will move this wreath around and go all the way around this plate. You don't have to clean it after every use. That's a question a lot of people will ask. Do I have to clean it every time I do it? No. You can just pull it up, lay it down. So let me show you on this part here. So again, I'm just going to load this up. And what I'll do for about 3 or 4 minutes, I'll press down and I'm etching this, I'm agitating it. But while I am, I'm making sure that there's ample etching cream on here. And I'll leave it there. I'm going to allow all that etching cream just to be daubed up like this. I know it seems a little wasteful, but this is really the best way to use it. So I'll rub it just a little bit just to kind of agitate it, get it pushed through that mesh. The beautiful thing about these mesh stencils that we have here at Maker Studio is the fact that they give you a lot of detail. And we go into great lengths to make sure that our designs are very classic, they're timeless, they're something that you can use on a lot of different projects, be beautiful. And 2, it's about enjoying the bragging rights from it. But I promise, if you've never done etching before, you're gonna look at glass in a whole new way, because one of the best bargains at estate sales are going in the kitchen and getting glasses. Especially on the last day of the estate sale, I will always go in. Everything's usually about 50% off on Sundays, but I will go in and make an offer. So if you buy quite a bit of glass, then that way you can say, if I get all of these, then they usually give you an additional discount. And I guess there's something really fun about the fact that, one, we're repurposing something that no one was able to use anymore. But also on top of that, being able to bring it home and to be able to add new life to it, to really customize it into something that you'll be very proud of, that's really easy to do, but also that looks really, really expensive. All right, so I'm gonna do one more because I wanna allow this to be able to set up with what we're working on. After you apply this, you really want it to sit there for about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Longer isn't better as much as it is. You want to make sure that at least it's 3 or 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. All right, so this last one, look at this. This sweet little border is going to be so adorable on the base of my glass, my little $3 find. I don't know if Gene was real excited about it, because he knows that when we get these glasses, we have to wrap them in tissue at these estate sales and put them in little bags and take them home. So it's probably good to get just a bag that you would get groceries in, and take some tissue so that way you're all prepared when you go into the kitchen. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this down there like that. All right, so now let's come over here to our sink. Now some people will ask me, do I clean it first? Do I rinse it first? Do I take the stencil off first? It's up to you. So today, just to those of you that like it that way, I'm going to go in and remove my stencil. Now, can you get a close-up of that? Can you see it? Is that the sweetest? Now here's the great way of taking something that you will pay 10 or 15 cents for and customizing it to where somebody would be able to enjoy it. Now, I want to be able to do a border all the way around of this. And again, this is working with our Motif Stencil. Now, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to need to get this excess off. I'm just going to rinse it. Now this is the top part of my stencil. What I try to do, let me take one of my pieces away. What I try to do is always protect that back. That's my adhesive part. I don't want to get a whole lot of fibers off of a cloth or a paper towel. So I'm just going to barely dab this. It's best to try to just let it air dry a little bit. Now, before I actually start and lay it down to the next one, can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Look at the detail on that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I will tell you, I'm not going to go into it today, but you can come back and thin down our ceramic paints and literally paint in some of the designs from your etching. Yes, that's a mind blower. All right, so now I'm going to rinse this off. And what's going to happen is you're going to think it went away. It didn't. You have to just dry it out, and then it's going to come back. Again, remember, this is about it being very subtle. Can you see that? It's about this being very subtle and elegant. Now, I'm going to lay this down, trying to protect my countertop here. And I'm going to go right next to where I laid this down. I want the bows to kind of marry up. That way that sweet swag is going to go all the way around as a border on this plate. All right, so can you see that? So that way the swag will go all the way around. Let's say you're getting ready to have a bridal shower. You could literally put the date here. You could do the initials of the couple right here. There's so many ways to be able to customize it. And then that way you could actually give this to them as a gift. But so I'm going to come back, do exactly what I did before, add my etching cream, allow it to stay on here 3 or 4 minutes, make sure you agitate it, stay away from that edge, and then take your stencil off, rinse it, pat it dry, then that way you can apply it again, and that way you've got this adorable border all the way around. Now, let's check on our glass over here, and I'm going to take my stencil off. I'm going to rinse it. And when you're rinsing this off, you don't have to use soap. You want to lay the adhesive side up, and that way you can just pat it dry. Now I'm going to come back with my glass and rinse it. And I'm going to tell you, these aprons come in handy. I love the pouches that we have in our aprons. We actually have the Maker Studio aprons for sale on our website. Oh yeah, this is darling. Oh, so cute. All right, so now here's the fun thing. I've got my yogurt. I'm gonna set this over here because I've got to finish it. I'm gonna protect my glass. I'm going to take my yogurt that I eat in the mornings, fill this darling glass up. You know, yes, while we love to do things for our friends when we're entertaining, that's important. It's all about presentation. I love putting a dollop. You see, look, this entire container here filled up this, look at this. All of this was able to go in this container. I'll put just a little bit of a strawberry here, put that on a little plate, and then that way I'm able to enjoy my breakfast. Maybe I'll serve this up to Jean, or maybe this is something that we have in the morning if you have friends visiting with you. It really is about looking at a different way when you go to an estate sale or a garage sale, a different way of finding something. Like I wouldn't serve an alcoholic drink in this. I will use it for sorbet or for little bits of watermelon and mint, or maybe enjoying it with my yogurt. And then every time I look at that, I'm going to remember that I etched it, and I'll always remember what a good deal I got on it. So it's about taking something that was maybe somebody else's item that they threw it away and transforming it, rescuing it, and restoring it using our etching cream and our Motif Stencils to be able to make it into something that you'll enjoy for years to come. Have a fantastic Memorial Day, everybody.